If CD Projekt Red was divorced parents, then Cyberpunk is the little brother the parents fight over, and The Witcher is the teen mom that the parents pretend doesn't exist. Okay, I may be joking about that last part, as CD Projekt Red hasn't forgotten about The Witcher. In fact, Cyberpunk is littered with Easter eggs to The Witcher. I spent a bit of time searching for every single Witcher 3 reference in Cyberpunk I could find. 15 of them in fact. Some of them were blatant references, and others are common items in the game that for a time I didn't know was an Easter egg. Make sure to let me know if I managed to miss any Witcher 3 Easter eggs, so let's get into every Witcher 3 Easter egg in Cyberpunk that you probably didn't know about. In various locations in Night City, you can find arcade machines. By now, I'm sure you've played some of them. One of these machines, however, is a Witcher 3 Easter egg, that being the machine called Roach Race. This is a game where you play as a horse and jump over obstacles like that T-Rex game on Google, but you race through various different locations from the Witcher 3 world. Roach is the name of your horse in The Witcher 3. It works just like cars in Cyberpunk. You push a button to summon it. Roach, of course, was also subjective to several memes over the years, and for good reason. You can also check the high scores for Roach Race, and the #1 spot goes to Zuriel, also known as Siri from The Witcher. During the Phantom Liberty DLC, you have a choice to betray Songbird or Solomon Reed, and help the other person that you didn't betray. This sends you down 2 separate questlines. The one where you help Songbird and betray Reed has you sneak into the Night City spaceport, which is full of secrets itself, and I will have another video covering all of those. But one of those secrets is actually yet another Witcher 3 Easter egg. Once you're inside the spaceport, assuming you sneak through the construction site, taking a small detour you can find a data shard called Blast Wish next to an urn full of ashes. This data shard is describing the events from the side quest in The Witcher 3 called Last Wish, but I usually just end up rejecting her. The Corpo life path has by far the best life path dialogue options, but if that wasn't enough to make it the superior life path, then you should probably know that the Corpo prologue has a Witcher 3 Easter egg. If you go to your office and sit at your desk, you can open the drawer to find a magazine with Siri on it. Siri being Geralt's ward or pseudo-daughter, for those who don't know. She's also the person that the entire plot of the game revolves around. This is really just CD Projekt Red flexing The Witcher 3's success using a gamer magazine, and not hinting at her existence in the Cyberpunk universe. Whether you're in the Cherry Blossom Market or the Aldecaldo camp, then you've probably heard NPCs playing the guitar. Surprise, surprise, it's another Easter egg. These NPCs are actually playing a guitar rendition of the theme for The Witcher 3's Blood and Wine DLC, which is known to be CD Projekt Red's best DLC to date, even better than Phantom Liberty. The Aldecaldo ending is definitely rated as the best ending to Cyberpunk, so there's never really any reason to play any of the others. But my fellow Witcher fans might want to try attacking Arasaka Tower with Rogue. This is the only ending where you'll be on the Arasaka Tower jungle floor. This is where you can find the Caretaker Spade next to a pile of rocks. This is the weapon that belongs to the Caretaker from the Hearts of Stone DLC, and one of the only gimmick weapons in The Witcher 3. Even though it's a sword in The Witcher 3, it's actually classified as a hammer in Cyberpunk. Game breaking, I know. Dandelion is a character in The Witcher 3 that's pretty interesting, and somehow managed to bag Novigrad's hottest babe. While Dandelion might seem pretty successful, owning his own business and scoring the hottest chick in Novigrad, his alternate reality cyberpunk self has a restaurant called Dandelion's Cocktails. Extra emphasis on the cock after watching this monstrosity. With all jokes aside, there is a random and unremarkable outdoor restaurant called Dandelion's Cocktails. This place has no vendors or anything. It's literally just a random reference to Dandelion from The Witcher 3.
Oh, Geralt. How little you know about women.
Graffiti can be found all over Night City, and if you actually look at them, you can see a lot of repeat graffiti. I like the one that says boobies. However, you can actually find graffiti that says Cirilla Sintra Rules. Obviously, Cirilla is Ciri's full name. Well, actually, it's Cirilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, but that's not the point. Cirilla rolls off the tongue much better than Ciri. A common joke in The Witcher 3 or complaint depending on which side of the line you're on, are the massive amount of smuggler caches there are. These are just random loot boxes floating around the Skellig Islands. But in this location in Pacifica, you can find a dead man with a data shard called Drowned Man's Note, which describes how he went chasing after the thousands of smugglers' caches marked with the question marks, and there is only one left, referencing the abundance of question marks, or rather smugglers' caches around the Skellig Islands. Well, if you head over to this location under the bridge, you can find the last smugglers' cache. They don't contain any good loot, or anything really for that matter, just a cool decorative Easter egg, probably added by a bored developer at the last minute. The ads you can find all over Night City are pretty interesting to say the least. However, you probably noticed this one that says Milgard. This is a reference to Nilfgaard from The Witcher 3. That's honestly the whole Easter egg, just a play on words. But what I find funny about it is that it took me way too long to realize it was an Easter egg. I just thought Milgard was some weird futuristic sex thing. It wasn't until I decided to watch this disaster that I realized it. If it wasn't for the subtitles, I would have thought they were saying Milfgard instead of Nilfgaard. I swear some of the characters actually were. And it was then I realized how similar the two sounded and it clicked. Sometimes the dots just don't connect. Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty has a vintage telephone that is required to contact Solomon Reed as part of the main story. But next to the phone there are some sticky notes on the wall with phone numbers on them. Some of these numbers don't do anything, but one of them will actually play the song from The Witcher 3's opening cinematic called The Trail, which was better than the 3 whole seasons of The Witcher on Netflix alone.
What the?
By now you should know about the elusive cat in Mega Building 10 that you can adopt named Nibbles. You can find it in your apartment room doing various cat activities. Cats in Night City are known to be extremely rare, but you probably didn't know that Nibbles is actually an Easter egg to The Witcher 3. Nibbles is a cat in The Witcher 3 that you can find in various different locations throughout the main story. In fact, Nibbles is the only cat in The Witcher 3 that isn't afraid of you or your mutations, and it seems to follow you around. Here's something you probably didn't know was an Easter egg. In fact, I didn't even know until I played The Witcher 3. And even then, it took a while for me to figure it out. Skippy itself is a full Easter egg, but Skippy will often say things during combat that can be quite funny under certain circumstances. Skippy will also have voice lines when you enter combat, similar to Geralt during The Witcher 3, but some of Skippy's lines are actually direct quotes from Geralt. I didn't even know this was an Easter egg until I started quoting that voice line from Geralt myself every time I entered combat, and then it eventually clicked.
What now, piece of filth?
What now, you piece of filth?
Dexter Deshawn, as described by Jackie, is Fat Black Jesus. Now, Dexter himself is not inherently an Easter egg of any kind, at least not to my knowledge. Dexter's shoes, however, have the School of the Wolf medallion on them. That's where Geralt is from, for those who don't know. The Rayfield Erendite is a rare car in Night City with only a handful of people having ownership. But the car is actually named after the sword given to Geralt by the Lady of the Lake during the Blood and Wine DLC. There is a cyber psycho in Haywood named Dao Hyun, located at the Seaside Cafe. Once you kill or incapacitate the guy, he will have a data shard that is addressed to his sister, where he will mention the White Frost, which is the cataclysmic event that happens in the Witcher series. The line "the time of revenge and the white light, or frost white chrome, and contempt has come," which is actually very similar wording to what was said in the original prophecy. There you have it, that was 15 references to The Witcher 3 in Cyberpunk. Let me know if I missed any Witcher Easter eggs. I sure hope I didn't, otherwise I'll end up looking stupid. Nah, I'm just playing. But if you want to see more Cyberpunk and RPG videos, then make sure you subscribe. And if you want to join my Discord, the link for that will be in the description. Anyways, I'll see you later.